So Michael, here's a question. This suit has your, I guess, like the Columbo Crime Family tree mapped out. How accurate is it?
Pretty accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, for that era. I was surprised when I saw it, but yeah, very accurate. Now, obviously, the FBI creates these family trees. We don't do that, but no, it's very accurate.
So what's with the nicknames? Like you have the snake and whatever. Like, tell us about some of your favorite nicknames.
Well, Carmine Persico, Carmine the Snake Persico, which, by the way, you didn't call him to his face. You didn't like that, but he was the boss of our family. And the way he got that nickname, there was a war in our family, the the Profaci-Gallo War. And initially, Persico had aligned himself with the gallows. And then at some point in time, he kind of double-crossed them and went to the Profaci side. So from that point on, they called him the Snake.
Why did he switch sides?
I guess, he saw that Profaci was the better option, because anytime there's a war, people have misunderstandings about that. They think that, the families go to war. But anytime there's a war, it's a civil war. It's within the family, and it's always for leadership, power and control. So he just saw the best option to stay with Profaci, who was the boss. The gallows didn't want that. They wanted to take over the family. So initially he was with them. But then when he saw the trend and the way it was going, he switched sides. And
how much of that civil war is driven by, lack of perceived competence in leadership versus just envy?
It's a lot of different things. I'll give you an example. During my era, we had a war. Persico was challenged for power. There's a fellow by the name of Vic Arena, who was a captain with him, who Persico Jr., we called him, went off to prison, and he left Vic Arena in control as the acting boss. And the deal was, when his son, Ali Boy Persico, who was also a captain, and he was a godfather to my son, we were close, when he came out of prison, Arena was to give up leadership to him, and he was going to run the family. Well, Arena decided that I want to keep it. I like the position. So we went to war. And it's always something like that. It's always for power and control. He just enjoyed what he was doing, started to say, Persico was a greedy leader and all this kind of stuff. They make up things. And it ended up with Persico winning the war.
When you say going to war, what exactly does that mean?
You're going to war. I mean,
like you're getting people
are killing each other.
Up.
Absolutely. People are killing each other. Through that war, I believe 13 men were killed. About 18 men became informants. And I'm pretty sure about 63 men went to prison.
Wow.
And that's something that I would have been involved in, except I was in on a parole violation. The war lasted from 1991 to 94, and I was in prison from 1991 till 94. By the time I got out, it was over.
It's a really interesting lesson about, it's not that the mob was really taken out by the FBI, they took themselves out. And that's that's all leadership, right? Like your biggest enemies are usually the people closest to you that envy you or that aren't telling you the truth to your face.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, there is, I say this about Italians, and obviously I'm Italian and I love my people, but, jealousy and envy, it happens to all of us, and some of it is, it's honest, and hey, listen, I wish I had what that guy had. He's living a good life. He's got a great car, great wife, great family. And it's okay. It's normal. And sometimes even among siblings, there could be a little jealousy. The problem with Italians, and especially on the street, they say, you know what? I wish I had what that guy had, and I don't want him to have it. That's when it's envy. That's when it gets, dangerous. I don't want him to have. Cam?
That's great. No, we'll keep it up. This is good.
Okay. We got a visitor. I don't want him to have it. And that's when things start to get heated. And unfortunately, that happens in that life quite a bit.
Happens in our life too, man. We run a sales organization. There's no income inequality in sales, as I'm sure you're aware. So everything is very merit-based. And so it's very easy to look at somebody and think, oh, why do they have all this stuff? Because, they're obviously more competent, more effective at executing what they need to do. And I always tell my guys in a company, if you see somebody better than you or doing better than you, be thankful that you have a person in your life you can learn from. That's not nothing.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, look, human nature gets involved, and unfortunately it takes a wrong turn at times. But in that life, in the street, it could become dangerous.
Well, I'm sure some people will be envious of your suits now, so that's not a bad thing either.
Well, no, but they don't have to be, because they can have one also, right? Maybe not exactly the same, but they can enjoy it also.
That's funny. Let's go. I think we're good.